right. So any special requests today?
I have a question.
Shoot.
Extra tops.
Maybe.
I have lost all mine.
Du kan kolla som, det hänger en stor grön jacka där ute. Du kan kolla efter toppen.
Okej.
Det är inte säkert, men det kan man.
Yeah. All right, so any special requests? No, okay. Let's start actually in yin fish pose. So you want to bring the bottoms of your feet together. You want to bring your hands, or your heels about 2 hands length away from your groin. And then you want to come back to your elbows. And if it's comfortable for you, you're going to drop your head back. And if it's not comfortable for you, don't. And the idea in a yin pose is to relax as much as possible. You did not find it, did you? So maybe close your eyes, especially since the light is still on. Let your knees be heavy. Let your tongue relax. Time is everything, Aura. And just take a couple moments to let your whole body arrive here, your whole being. And with your next couple of breaths, investigate and explore how your physical body is feeling. Your muscles, your bones, all the different fluids and substances in your body. There's parts of our body that responds to the earth and to the physics that is true to the earth. And then you'll find a lot of your body also responds to your thinking, to your feelings, to your energy. Keeping your legs like that, just allow your upper body to lower down to the ground. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. It doesn't matter which. And then take a couple moments to feel your heart beating. And you can really notice this might be like the bridge between the physical heart and the energy that's flowing through your body. So take some time to notice your energy. I could call it prana or chi or esmeralda. And you still have to kind of investigate and see what that means for you. Stretch your legs out, wiggle around a little bit. There's no real rules. Just move your legs. Wiggle your toes. Shake out your wrists, you got it. And then hug your knees up to your chest and rock up to a seated position. And then I'm going to give you two choices. We're going to either come into saddle pose, which is you sit on your heels or in between your heels. You come down to your elbows or all the way down to the ground. Or if like you have to pop off your kneecaps or break things to go there, just come into Sphinx. I mean, don't break them first. Just, you have a sense of these things. So either one. Sphinx is actually a deeper back bend. And you want to keep your knees like close-ish, but they don't have to be sandwiched together. So feeling the opening in the front of your thighs, feeling the back bend. You can slide your elbows a little bit more forward even. Yes, perfect. And if you make a choice that doesn't fit for you, you can change it. So with your next cycle of investigation, take a couple moments to notice how your heart is this morning. Maybe you even notice that we have a feeling life that can be quite steadfast and quite constant in a way. And we can have on top of that and with that and dancing through that, sometimes storming and quaking through that. We can have our emotional life. So just notice. And then take a couple moments to notice your life and body of thought. And even in our thinking, we can observe that on one hand we have this monkey mind, the thinking that happens automatically that we don't really direct, that we practice to quiet down. And on the other hand, we have this creative power the result of practice, concentration, and meditation, freeing up our thinking to become a tool of our own transformation. And then take your next couple breaths to practice moving far away from your feelings and your personal reactions to your biography. And just take a moment just to observe, maybe, as if you were looking at a stranger, where you are in your biography. Wandering, drifting perhaps, but noticing where you're searching or what you're practicing, where you're at. With your next inhale, transition out of the pose, either coming up on both elbows and lying down onto your belly, or simply coming down onto your belly. Oh man, you're really heavy this morning. Wiggle around. Shake it out. Maybe make a little noise. Moaning and groaning is socially acceptable after a yin pose. And that feeling of vulnerability and fragileness, it will move away with movement. So we get a direct experience of how our sensations and reactions and feelings are kind of connected to our physical body. So wiggle your bum. Yes. And then stretch your right arm out to the right with your palm on the ground. You want your arm to stay that high level with your shoulder throughout this exercise. And then look to your left and hug your knees up to your chest on your left-hand side, rolling out to the outside of your left thigh. You want to have your knees at least as high as your hips. Sometimes you might need a pillow. And then stretch your left arm up to the sky. And see if you can hold hands behind your back without significantly lowering your right arm. So if you have to lower it too much, then don't hold hands. And even reaching for your arm is already the posture. Like there's no waiting for it to happen, it's already happening. So see if you want to step your left foot behind your right leg and notice how it helps you twist more. So as we take the time to take a little stock of where we're at, whether we look at our physical body, our energetic body, our emotional body, or our thinking body, maybe even our spirit body. I don't experience it very so much. Do you want a little pillow? It's very small, yes. But you might notice that even in these bodies, these divisions that come from the Taoist perspective, we already can notice some division. In our physical body, we can feel that when we move our body, when we use our body, when we work with our body, it empowers us. It allows things to move through us more quickly. But in our body, we'll also sometimes receive, not sometimes, I think always, receive dispositions and weaknesses that bring us similar lessons again and again. We can feel how closely our energy is connected to our physical body. And sometimes our energy will be affected more by our physical body, other times more by the other bodies, the more subtle, invisible bodies. Whether it's the body of emotion and feeling, or whether it's the body of thought. When we start to investigate the feeling, we've got, again, this, it's nearly like we have like the monkey mind of our feeling life, where we can react irrationally or too rationally. But also the place we can also feel the truth. We think about choices, but we make the big decisions with our heart. Roll back onto your belly, moan and groan, shake out, wiggle your right fingers especially, make sure they work. This is a shoulder releasing pose. It's not very gentle, but we're still going to do the other side. So stretch your arm out to the left, palm on the ground. Hug your knees up to your chest. Think good thoughts. Imagine this is going to be the best ever, even despite your experience on the other side, perhaps. Reach back and see if you can hold hands without significantly lowering your left hand. And that might be not the same as the other side. And then step your right foot on the ground. Feel that that helps in the twist. Maybe you like to have both feet on the ground to twist your hips even more. In our thinking, the divide can sometimes be blatant and sometimes very subtle. We think so many thoughts a day, but very few of those thoughts are new thoughts. We can use our thinking to lead us into deep concentration, into meditation, to lead us into it. And the practice in concentration and meditation is guiding our attention so that we can be liberated from allowing our attention to be always just pulled by outside forces. we recognize this reoccurring theme of divide in our inner life. And maybe you notice that when we work at uniting, for instance, our thinking, our feeling, and then what we do, we have a greater sense of not only purpose, but peace. The word yoga means to yoke together, two opposites, working in harmony. And us as individuals, individables, can use this practice of unification on ourselves to heal kind of the wound that happens in between these opposite forces in us. And essentially, on our own, on our mat, in the most personal, intimate space of our inner practice, we can already practice making peace. So we can continue to bring together the other places in the world we see all these opposites. All these painful, arbitrary divisions between human beings. Roll back to your center, move your left fingers, move your arm. Notice that your movement changes your feeling. And wiggle around, moan and groan a little bit. No need to be polite. Pretend like you sound like a sheep. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders and move yourself back into child's pose. Look at that picturing, intuitive already. Feel yourself coming home. It should be a place that you feel comfortable, cared for. And inhale, just roll up your spine, lifting your spine erect between the heavens and earth. If you're feeling like you want a little extra juiciness this morning, feel free to tuck your toes under. And if you always tuck your toes under, maybe don't. Bring your hands to the heart center. Let your elbows be heavy. Your thumbs connect to your breastbone. Close your eyes. Try to feel the people around you. And then with your voice, sound, and simultaneously see if you can hear and feel the sound of other people around you. Empty your breath and join me in 3 ohms. Take a deep inhale. onto your heels, stretch the front of your feet. And then rock forward again and bring your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees underneath your hips. And interlace your fingers. And squeeze your wrists towards one another so that the bottom of your palms are squeezing together eventually. In the transition, you might find that your hands kind of open if you go all the way up in the headstand, but you're aiming to keep the bottom of your palms squished together and the sacred empty space in your grip, like you have a little egg, fresh egg, or live bird that you don't want to destroy. So even if your friend has the palms open, maybe you bring them this way, and this will allow your arms to be stable on the sharper edge of your arm. That gives you more support, because when you start to let your palms open, your wrists roll open, and it's much harder to keep your elbows in, so you lose the support of your arms, and then it's just your head supporting your weight. So this way you distribute the weight more evenly to your head and your arms, like a tripod. Bring the crown of your head to the ground, and just extend your legs, and look with your eyes, and see if you can find a perpendicular line, and notice how it feels. The cool thing is we have more than 5 senses. We also have a sense of balance, a sense of perpendicular. So Monty, try to squeeze your elbows in more. Yes, a little bit more even. Now, if you have the feeling correct in your chest that the perpendicular line feels right, it will tell you that your head's in the right spot. Then start to tiptoe your feet towards your face and try to bring your hips over your shoulders, keeping your back strong. And you may find exactly that when your hips come over your shoulders, your feet just naturally float up to the sky. Beautiful, you guys. Now you can welcome to stretch your legs straight up into a headstand, or you can be working, bringing your hips closer towards your over your shoulders. And if you want to come up here, you can lift up one leg. You can stretch out your leg more, and then start to bring up your hips. Try to stand on the ceiling. So pulling your hips in, beautiful. Squeeze my hand. Allow yourself to breathe and be alive in your whole body. So even tiptoeing your way towards headstand is already the practice. Now if you're feeling for a little extra, you want to bend at your hips and pause halfway down, bringing your hips closer, or you can just fold at your hips and slowly come down to the ground. And notice you're free to do whatever you need here. Bring your hips down into child's pose. So notice success or less success. Let it roll off your back like water off of duck feathers. Take a couple moments. And then lift up onto your elbows and stretch your legs out. But this time, let your head be free. So we're coming up into dolphin. So your elbows are about shoulder distance apart, and that way you'll have enough room to let your head be free from hitting the ground. And you can look up towards your fingers a little bit if you'd like. And again, you can walk your toes a little closer to yourself. And then inhale, stretch out your right leg. You're welcome to breathe. Again, squeeze your elbows in. You'll have more support there, Mati. Yes. And then switch your legs. Feeling your whole body alive. Your head's lifted off the ground. And then come back down to child's pose. Balasana. Sometimes called Venkadasana. I won't push too hard so your knee doesn't get. I know, right? And then stretch your arms out. Your hands are on the mat. If not, just scoot your butt back a little bit. Tuck your toes under and lift up into downward facing dog. You want your hands shoulder distance, your feet hip distance. So I think it's a familiar pose for all of you. And just notice how much space you have there after doing headstand and dolphin pose. And inhale, stretch out your right leg up to the sky. Feel your right leg as an extension of the whole right side of your body. And then bend your knee and let your hips spin open. Keeping your chest square to the mat. Keeping your gaze on the inside of your left toes, allowing your left heel to reach down to the floor. And with your exhale, bring your right knee to your nose and just smell it. Delightful. Stretch your leg long and then relax your leg down. Inhale, stretch your left leg. Feel the connection to the whole left side of your body. Even your left fingertips. Nice crack. And then bend your knee and let your hips spin open. So often when your joints are popping, it's a release of fixation. And my chiropractor years ago said, if it doesn't hurt when you pop it, it's not dangerous. Try to keep your right heel right behind your right toes. And then with your exhale, bring your exquisite left knee to your nose and just give it a little sniff. Belly up, yeah. Stretch your left leg long. And with your exhale, walk your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, let your heart reach forward. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your head drop. Push down your feet and rise up, roll up, stretch up to the sky, look up in between your hands. Feel that when you really reach up, you can push your heels down even more. And then with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch your arms up high. Exhale, fold in half. Let your head go, let your head drop. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Then walk back to plank. And lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Inhale, low cobra, your toenails pushing down into the ground. See if you can lift up your hands for low cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Now it doesn't matter if you've practiced yoga 1,000 times or this is your first time. Always mess up like you mean it. It will actually be safer in your body, you'll find. You'll feel better afterwards, and you're welcome back again. And you want to imagine, like, what I have to say are suggestions. And they should be ones that help you. If they don't do them. But investigate to do them before deciding what you know. Take another full inhale through your nose. Empty your breath all the way. Look forward and walk your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Let your heart go and lead you. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your head drop. Push down with your feet. Rise up tall. Lift up high. And exhale, bring your hands through Samasthiti, letting them drop at the end of your exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Feel yourself getting taller. Exhale, bow forward, surrendering to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, this time just halfway down from plank to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Your thighs are lifted off the ground in upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So in our sun salutations, our salutes and greetings to the sun, we are really celebrating, bringing connection between the heavens and the earth. Between that which pulls us down towards the earth, grounded, and that which lifts us, illuminated away from the material to the invisible. Take another full inhale, pull your hips up and back, empty your breath all the way. Look forward and float your feet in between your hands while your breath sinks out of your body. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, looking forward for upper abdominal work. Exhale, release and bow down. Inhale, lift up tall, reach up. And with your exhale, Samasthiti. Bend your knees deeply, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana with a smile. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga or the ground. If you're jumping, go straight to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the ceiling, and with your exhale, carry your foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Let your left heel stay lifted today, and rise up, crescent lunge. And then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Feel your heart stretching up as your toes push down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your glorious left leg. Exhale, carry your foot all the way forward to your left thumb. Eventually in one movement, but if you have to help it out, stretch that. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, strong right leg. And then follow your breath all the way down to chaturanga. Inhale, stretch from your feet to your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, finding the same amount of weight in your hands and your feet. Notice that with these 3 sun salutations already, variations, you can find that the quality of warmth is coming into your body. So the warmth comes through our movement and breath. And the illumination and insight comes through our attention. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way and float your feet in between your hands, or walk and float, or some combination of. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana. And then exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, open arm twist to your right. Let's take a couple breaths here. Reach through your fingertips. Feel your hips dropping. And imagine your knees are right up against a wall, so the same distance forward. Let your shoulder blades melt down your back. Imagine your fingernails are growing longer. You're making them grow longer. And then inhale, Utkatasana, keeping your legs low, bravely open up your left hand side. Stretch through your fingertips. Let your shoulders soften. Notice if you've got like serious face on, that's cool, but maybe soften it a little bit with a little smile. Damn, what's my Swedish word list today? Smile. Small. And then inhale, Utkatasana, exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, carry your foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. Let's do some breathing here. So with your back heel, you want to push into nothing like it's a solid rock. So your left thigh can squeeze against your left hamstring. Your leg straightens, nice. Find your upper body balanced over your hips. Reach for your fingertips. Then with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center and twist to your right, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your knee. Other way. And push down on your bottom hand like you're really praying in earnest. And if that doesn't reach you and change where your heart is, make your bottom hand a fist and push down on your fist. You're allowed to be squeaky. Allow yourself to breathe. Now, in your mind's eye, picture warrior 2. And with your next exhale, windmill up to warrior 2. Wow. Yes. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, follow your breath all the way to chaturanga. Beautiful. Inhale, upward facing dog. Let your shoulders come down your spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Bring your left foot all the way to your left thumb, even if you have to carry it. Rise up, crescent lunge. So if you're having trouble with balance, you can always step your feet further apart and you make your base wider and stronger. You also make your base stronger by pushing with your back right foot, only one you have, and pull your right thigh to your hamstring so your right leg is straight and fully extended. Yes. Take another full inhale, and with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center and twist to your left. Push your hands together. So eventually your hands meet at your heart center. Your elbows make a straight line in between the heavens and earth. Eventually. Notice if you can soften a little bit in your face. Take another full inhale, and with your exhale, meet us in warrior 2. Facing the right hand side. Beautiful. Nice correction. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, follow your breath all the way down. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full inhale with your exhale, just sigh it out. So our breath can be a source of fuel for us, but it also can be our barometer, so it can tell us how we're doing. So if you can't breathe, it's a little too much for you. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way, and then float your feet through your hands and come onto your butt. Beautiful. Now, little tricks with that is to keep your hips higher. You can look forward more. Aurora, I think that will help you. That helped me with the jump through. Nice try. Okay. Now, a little celebratory dance. Bend your knees. Slowly surfing your way down with a little foot abdominals. Yay! People are always too serious with abdominal exercises. So if you can sing through them, you practice being strong and joyful. So pull your heels to your buttocks. I'll turn off the lights so you can keep your eyes open. Feel the solidness of your feet on the ground, hip distance apart. And from the earth up, find your strength to lift your hips. You can feel your shoulders pushing down to the ground and the back of your head. So feel that foundation and then shimmy your arms underneath and hold hands. Allowing your heart to come reaching back towards your face, as if your heart could lick your face good morning. To balance that reach of your chest towards your face, you want to reach your knees forward, away from you. Again, allowing your practice to build relationship between dynamically opposite forces. We practice our creativity here. Our creativity to lead us towards peace. So after you find the opposite of your knees reaching away and your chest reaching back, you want to find the inner rotation of your thighs down to the ground so your hips can lift up more. And then slowly release. One vertebrae at a time. Take a full inhale with your exhale, just sigh out. And then inhale, lift up your hips. Now you can either stay here, or if you want to do a variation, you can walk your feet a little closer together and stretch one leg straight up into the sky. Feel that you're actually reaching with your foot in the sky and pushing down with your foot on the earth in a similar fashion. Now switch legs. Beautiful. And then bring your left foot down and everybody slowly roll down to the mat. Unfurling or furling, in her spine down to the ground. Take full inhale, sigh it out. And inhale, lift up your hips. Last back bend of the class. So maybe you're feeling for a little spiciness, go all the way up into full wheel, or stay and bridge. Recognizing that your practice is at your edge. No matter how skilled your neighbor is, your edge will still be between what you know and what you don't know. Between what's certain and uncertain. Allow your practice to be a joyful practice in that place of uncertainty. And then unroll, come back down, and stretch your legs out long. Again, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. You'll find that a lot of the yoga postures are about opening our heart, developing our strength and our bravery, our guts, and the bridge in between of a fully extended and erect and a lively spine. And hug your knees up to your chest. And if you're feeling radical today and want to practice some self-love to be free from capitalism and all its forces, kiss your knees good morning. You're amazing. Then open up your arms and let both of your knees slowly drop to your left, keeping your knees higher than your hips. Take your gaze back to your right to allow your whole spine to twist. Take a full inhale. With your exhale, just sigh out. Notice that your body responds to your breath, your thoughts, your choices. And then spin back to center. And slowly drop your knees to your right hand side. Take a full inhale with your exhale, sigh out. And then come back to center when you feel balanced. Stretch your legs out long. Keep your palms facing up. Let the ground hold you. There should be, if you want to cover, there's one close by. Your eyes closed, keep your attention in your body, in the room. With your next inhale, invite your breath to the edges of your body. Feel that with your awareness, your energy flows. Maybe wiggle your fingers, your toes, your face, and then your nose. And then roll over onto your right hand side, hugging your knees to your chest. And just take a moment and notice your vibration, your energy, your source. You're amazing. Help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Allow your hands to meet at heart center. Feel the ground below you and lift up lightly away from it. Empty your breath and join me in one final Om. Take a deep inhale. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward together, we say, Namaste. We celebrate being awake while we work. So, thank you guys for being here this morning. Much good. And you're welcome to be generous old school style with cash. I have a bag on the piano. I also have Swish for Swedish bank holders, or PayPal, or whatever creative way you feel the need to be generous with. Have an amazing day on this cloudy, dreary, gray day. Be the sun. Yeah. And if you're sore, come do it again.